Have you ever felt like your garden goes quiet in winter, almost as if it's asleep? The vegetable beds lose their lush green, and your compost pile seems to stop breathing like it did in summer. Only the chill remains, seeping through every corner of the soil. But you know what? Even in that silence, life is still happening, quietly, slowly, yet full of patience. I still remember an early winter morning. I lifted the compost lid and a soft white steam rose up. That was the warmth of millions of tiny microorganisms at work. In that moment, I smiled and thought, so even winter has its own heartbeat. Today, I want to share with you the ultimate secret of winter composting. 10 lessons you'll only understand when you truly listen to your compost pile and the quiet rhythm of life beneath the cold. Number 1. Keeping heat is your top priority. When winter comes, most beginners worry, will my compost still work when it's this cold? Now, the answer is yes, if you know how to keep it warm. Think of microorganisms as little workers. They're just like us. When it's freezing, they slow down, move less, and if you stir the pile too often, it's like opening the window in the middle of the night. All that precious heat escapes. I used to make that mistake myself. I thought stirring meant aerating, but all I got was a cold, lifeless pile. Since then, I've learned, don't rush to turn your compost in winter. Help it retain its heat instead. Cover it with straw, shredded cardboard, or even a natural insulating layer. Just imagine your compost as a living being, and you're wrapping it in a warm blanket. Winter doesn't kill life, it just tests how patient you are in keeping it alive. Number 2, manage your piles and harness inner energy. If you have enough space, create 2 compost areas. One for fresh materials, where you can still add kitchen scraps daily, and another sleeping pile. Where microbes work quietly without disturbance. I call it the 2-breath rule. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. While one pile rests, the other one works. Energy keeps circulating, and decomposition never truly stops. Also, remember this, don't add weed seeds or diseased plants in winter. Low temperatures can't kill them. Save that for summer's hot composting. I've seen friends puzzled when weeds sprout from their finished compost. That's usually why. Composting teaches patience and understanding. When you let nature work in its own rhythm, the results are always worth the wait. Number 3, balance nutrients and optimize materials. People often ask me, Mr. Ann, do I still need to balance greens and browns in winter? My answer, even more than ever. Brown materials, like dry leaves, sawdust, and cardboard, are your slow energy, holding warmth and absorbing moisture. Green materials, like veggie scraps, fruit peels, and coffee grounds, are your quick fuel, full of nitrogen and heat. Too much brown and your compost becomes dry and slow. Too much green and it turns soggy, smelly, and airless. Here's my rule of thumb. Keep it as moist as a wrung-out sponge, damp but not dripping, and chop everything small. Banana peels, wilted greens, stalks, so microbes have more surface to work on. An old gardener friend from Dalat once told me, composting is like cooking. The same ingredients can make a great meal or a disaster, depending on how you prep and stir. He was right. Composting isn't just about what you put in, but how you treat it. Number 4, winter doping, fuel for life. When the temperature drops, your compost becomes like a fading campfire. You need to feed it again. The best fuel? Hot manure, fresh coffee grounds, or new organic waste. They're rich in nitrogen and help kickstart microbial activity. But be careful, add them in thin layers and mix well. Dumping too much in one spot creates hot zones that can kill your microbes. I like to sprinkle a bit of coffee grounds in the middle, a gentle morning boost for the pile. That warm aroma reminds me, compost isn't just waste, it's a circle of simple happiness. Number 5, prevent flooding. Keep the right moisture. Never let your compost drown. Winter rains can soak it, cut off oxygen, and slow everything down. Use a tarp or lid to shield it from direct rain. If it gets too wet, add dry leaves, sawdust, or shredded cardboard to absorb the moisture. A quick test, squeeze a handful of compost. If it's moist but doesn't drip, it's perfect. Composting teaches one of life's simplest lessons. Everything is beautiful only when it's in balance. Not too dry, not too wet, not too fast, not too slow. Just like life itself, knowing when to stop keeps things steady. Number 6. Monitor temperature with tech and your own senses. These days, you can easily use a compost thermometer. Stick it into the center, and you'll know whether the heart of your compost is still beating. But honestly, human senses are still the best tools. Touch the outer layer. You'll feel the warmth inside. Smell the soil. You'll sense if your compost is happy. I once read that in the future, AI will measure temperature, humidity, and carbon ratios, adjusting compost automatically. But I believe this. AI can measure heat, but it can't measure love. Technology can guide us, but the heart always leads the way. Number 7. Make leaf mold, winter's brown gold. Don't dump all your dry leaves into the main compost pile. Instead, collect them in a mesh bag or bin. Leave them to decompose slowly. After 1 or 2 years, you'll get leaf mold. Fine, earthy, soft, and wonderfully moisture retentive. I call it brown gold. Mix just a handful into your garden bed, and your soil becomes loose, rich, and alive. Winter is the perfect time to start leaf mold, slow but sure. It reminds us, not everything good happens fast. Some things just need time to mature. Number 8. Add winter green biomass. If your garden looks bare, plant or add green manure crops, legumes, fava beans, or fast-growing greens. They'll slowly break down in the soil, adding natural nitrogen and balancing nutrients for your winter compost. I once planted fava beans in December, then cut them after the Lunar New Year to compost. The next season, that bed was full of worms and fluffy soil. That's how you create green energy in the gray of winter. Number 9. Reuse heat and space. Here's a simple but powerful trick. Place your compost pile near a south-facing wall or anywhere that gets full sun. The wall traps heat and reflects it back, keeping your compost warm. If you have a chicken coop or a small greenhouse, set your pile close by. Living creatures generate warmth, acting as a natural heater for microbes. You'll witness a small miracle. On a 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius morning, your compost still steams gently in the cold air. I've always believed, nature never lacks energy. We just have to learn how to reuse it. Number 10. A final note from the heart. Composting isn't just turning waste into gold. It's turning winter's stillness into a quiet celebration of life. One day, technology might calculate every gram of input, every degree of heat, every phase of decomposition. But today, your heart, your hands, and your patience are still the most sustainable technologies of all. Every time you turn the soil, every time you cover your pile against the cold wind, you're nurturing this planet in the simplest, most human way possible. And after all these years, I've learned one truth from composting. Nature doesn't ask us to be perfect, only to stay patient. Do you have your own trick to keep your compost warm in winter? Share it in the comments below. I'd love to learn from you. If you love green living and want more simple, effective composting tips all year round, hit subscribe to the Compost channel and ring the bell so you won't miss the next video.